Nobody in WWE, and I mean nobody, has ever walked up to Roman Reigns, looked him dead in his eyes, and said what Abarfimi just said to his face. Not like this. Not with this level of confidence, this level of conviction, and this level of absolute fearlessness that made every single person watching feel like the ground beneath professional wrestling just shifted permanently. Abarfimi told Roman Reigns that Jey Uso does not need him, and then he told him he is taking them both out. Face to face, no backup, no hesitation, just a young lion standing in front of the greatest of this generation and refusing to even blink. Stay right here because this moment changes everything about 2026 in WWE. Welcome back to the channel. Let's break every single layer of this down. First, let's appreciate the audacity of what Abarfimi just did, because in the ecosystem of professional wrestling, there is a hierarchy of moments. There are superstars who talk about being the future. There are superstars who back up their words with performances. And then, very rarely, maybe once in a generation, there is a superstar who walks directly into the presence of the most powerful figure in the entire industry and delivers a warning so clean, so direct, and so completely void of any fear that the entire wrestling world stops and pays attention in a completely different way than it did the moment before. Abarfimi just became that superstar. To understand why this confrontation hit as hard as it did, you have to understand both men completely. Start with Roman Reigns. We do not need to spend a lot of time here because if you are on this channel you already know. The Tribal Chief, the greatest of this era, the man who rebuilt himself from the ground up and produced the single most dominant championship run in WWE history. A man whose very presence in a room changes the atmosphere, who has stood across from legends, monsters, and main event fixtures and made every single one of them feel the weight of who he is. Roman Reigns does not get confronted. Roman Reigns does the confronting. That is the established order of his world. And then there is Abarfimi. If you have been watching Abarfimi's trajectory over the past year you already know that something special is happening with this man. He is not just physically imposing, though make no mistake, the physical tools are absolutely extraordinary. He is intelligent. He is composed in high-pressure situations in a way that most wrestlers twice his experience level never fully develop. He has a presence that fills every corner of whatever room he walks into. And most importantly, he has that rare quality that cannot be coached and cannot be manufactured. He genuinely does not seem afraid of anyone. Not in a reckless, uncontrolled way. In a deeply confident, fully self-aware way that makes every single thing he does feel legitimate and feel serious. When Abarfimi walked up to Roman Reigns and said those words, when he looked at the Tribal Chief and told him that Jey Uso does not need him, he was not cutting a promo. He was stating a position. He was drawing a line. He was telling Roman Reigns and everyone watching that in his assessment of the current WWE landscape, the relationship between Roman and Jey is not a partnership of equals. It is Roman Reigns using Jey Uso's momentum and Jey Uso's connection with the crowd to stay relevant in a conversation that Abarfimi believes should be entirely his own. That is a sophisticated read of the political landscape of WWE. And the fact that Abarfimi delivered it directly to Roman Reigns' face rather than in a promo to the crowd or an interview backstage tells you everything about the kind of competitor he is. But then he took it further, and this is the part that had every wrestling fan simultaneously losing their minds and leaning so far forward in their seats they almost fell off. He said he is taking them both out, not one of them, both. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, two of the most beloved, most established, most crowd-supported performers in WWE right now, dismissed in a single sentence by a man who has decided that his path to the top runs directly through both of them and he is not interested in going around either one. The level of confidence required to stand in front of Roman Reigns and say those words is almost difficult to comprehend, because Roman Reigns does not absorb statements like that quietly. He does not let challenges to his authority sit unanswered. Every single time someone has stepped into his space and told him they are coming for him, the response from the Tribal Chief has been swift, decisive, and deeply unpleasant for the person who issued the challenge. And yet Abarfimi said it anyway, and he said it like he meant every syllable. Roman Reigns' reaction to that confrontation was its own masterpiece of performance, because the Tribal Chief is at his most dangerous when he does not immediately explode, when he gets quiet. When the eyes go cold and the jaw sets and you can see the calculation happening in real time, the weighing of exactly how to respond to something that has genuinely surprised him in a way very few things do anymore. That pause, that moment of Roman Reigns actually processing the fact that someone just stepped to him like that without any safety net around them, that was chilling television. This confrontation is the opening chapter of a story that is going to consume WWE for months. Abarfimi just inserted himself into the main event picture in the most dramatic and most unforgettable way possible. He did not ask for a match. He did not request a title shot. He walked up to the most powerful man in WWE, told him his alliance with Jey Uso is a crutch, and promised to dismantle both of them. That takes a different kind of warrior. And professional wrestling just got a whole lot more exciting because of it. Drop everything in the comments right now. Does Abarfimi back up everything he just said to Roman Reigns? And who do you want to see him face first, the Tribal Chief or Jey Uso? This is the conversation WWE is going to be having for the rest of 2026, and I want your prediction right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this channel covers every moment that matters with the passion and the depth this sport deserves. Share this with every wrestling fan you know. See you in the next one.